Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. Guys, they nerfed Zeus. I'm pretty disgusted with Kix's Eye. We had a huge nerf. Zeus was the most powerful unit that we had. We now have Dr. Ake. Dr. Ake is a little bit more powerful. So they nerfed Zeus. A lot of time gets invested in getting the elite version and then the omega version. And when they did the nerf on everything, we had to experiment to find out what was still good. And Zeus was one of the very few units that was usable. So now we've got Ragin, we've got the Demi Demon, and we've got Dr. Ake. And we also have the Rhino X. So I guess they just figured we don't need Zeus anymore. But Zeus was very helpful on this base. But now he hits like a wet noodle. I don't know. Last week he worked fine. This week he can't even take out an Overwatch turret. I was using him to take out the railguns, but if he's going to sit there and take 20 hits while he's trying to take out a railgun, it just absolutely destroys him. Before he could do it with one shot, and now he can't. So he's absolutely nerfed. So this is an alternative way to do this. It sucks, I know. He had more range than Ragin did, so he never got shot by those Overwatch turrets. But he could take him out in one hit, and now he just sits there and shoots him and shoots him and shoots him. It's ridiculous. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use the Demi Demon to um, distract the railguns, and then I'm going to use that power plant to take out the railgun. Um, Sometimes it's not going to take it out all the way. As long as you're properly distracting the railgun, you can go in. At that point, I wasn't properly distracting him, so I didn't want to. You can also use your, like I did right here, you can use your um, Demi Demon to take out the remainder of that. Now, the thing that's going to be really helpful here is that the Ragin has his shock ability. He's going to take out a lot of things with his shock. However, the shock only works if he is near somebody. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw out the Sepulcher, which is Italian, I think, for grave. It might be Latin. It might be Latin for grave, sepulcher. Anyway, it means grave. So you have to use. I mean, you don't have to. There's other ways to do it. But I was able to shock the sepulcher if you can get him close enough, and then hit one of the turrets. The Raging can shock him, and it seems like one or two shocks is all it takes to kill him. Um, but it's a little bit more difficult now. Before, if you remember, I used to just put Raging and the Rhino X on Ruby, and I would follow behind them with the Zeus and just do cleanup with the Zeus and the Raging um, and the Rhino X really didn't take any damage. It was pretty quick and easy. But maybe they saw my video. I don't know. Every time I show a really good video, they seem to nerf things, and they didn't want people being on Ruby on this base, I guess. So they made it a little bit more difficult. You got to be more strategic now. It takes a little bit longer, but we're still getting out here with zero damage. The problem is if you don't have one of these units. If you don't have Dr. Ake, it makes it a little bit more difficult. You can still do it. If you don't have the Rhino X, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Um, there's workarounds for everything. And just like everything, what I do is I just follow a pattern. I'll do this a second time so that you can see. I pretty much follow a pattern, and when I'm all done, I use those last buildings to heal everybody up so that in case anybody took any damage, that they get healed up. So we'll do it one more time, just so I can show you that it is very repeatable, very easy to do. I don't know. I might have all my parts already right now, and I'm sort of glad that I did a whole bunch extra on the previous weeks. I say this all the time. They are known on these boss bases for the first couple of weeks to let them be a certain way, and then if people are doing them too easy, the boss bases, they on a regular basis they jack them higher on the difficulty. But for them to nerf a unit right after a big nerf is sort of a disgusting thing to me. Like, most people, like there are accounts that I have helped get Sepulcher bases, and they don't have the units that I have. So all they had was the Demi Demon and the Zeus. And you can do this with the Demi Demon and the Zeus. It's just now it's a lot harder. You gotta get in and out. Because here's the problem with the Zeus. If the Zeus ever takes a hit, I mean he's done. And the repair time on Zeus is a long time. So whereas, Raging, if he takes a hit, I mean he's like free repair most of the time. And if not, he's like 8 minutes or something. It's not a big deal, right? But your Zeus takes a hit and it's an hour and 40 minutes, and you might as well you know go watch a football game or something while you're waiting for it to repair. Anyway, um, so this is an alternative way. Both of these ways are similar. I'm doing it a little bit different here. I am going to use my Raging to kill the Sepulcher, so I can show you that the shock will kill the Sepulcher. I'd still block with my Rhino X. It seems to me like the best unit to draw out and to block the Sepulcher is the Rhino X, because the Rhino X, while it is shooting the Sepulcher, will also heal itself partially, and it doesn't take as much damage. It's sort of what do you call it? Immune to taking so much damage from the. Here's a case where I had to just go right in and kill the railgun. Did you see that? Because for some reason that little power plant disappeared on me just before I got there. But I was still had time on that on the Demi Demon drone, the little Demi Demon buggy. So that's why I was able to go in and not take any damage. Dr. Ake can take a little bit of damage, but not too much. I'm going to clear this path. We'll draw out the Sepulcher again. One of the things I didn't like on the first one was that the railgun was also shooting my Rhino X, and I was unaware of it. The railgun all the way across on the other side was. And so this time I want to see if I can take out the railguns first before I kill the what do you call it? The Sepulcher. Yeah, so this is the first time, this is my first try not using the my Zeus, my Omega Zeus. So I'm still figuring this out, but it worked out perfect on my first and second try. So you know, um, I decided to make a video of it. I felt confident that I could do it without the Zeus because I have basically four of the best units in the game. Um, they are basically the four main units that you use for everything now. Of course, there's options, there's different things you can do. And another helpful unit is the Sandstorm Mark II. When you get in a pinch, the Sandstorm Mark II, I do use it. I have used it on this event as well, this skirmish event. And when you get in a pinch, it actually does help. See, so this time I drew it out and I'm not getting hit by the railguns. I cleared the railguns on the other side. But watch how quickly, once I bring Raging in, watch how quickly this thing dies. I'll bring Raging in and just shoot that one little power plant right there, and boom, and it kills that Sepulcher one shot. So one interesting thing I found out about that shock that comes out of the Raging. The shock is far more powerful than than Raging's shot is. Like Raging can be shooting a turret over and over and over and over again. You switch to another turret, and the shock hits that turret, and the turret goes down. You can hit a particular unit over and over and over again, but if you try it and you hit one of the turrets, and then the shock hits the unit is dead. An example is these gladiators in here. I have to hit with the Raging. I have to hit them 3 or 4 times. But if my shock hits them, then they're dead in like instantly. So it's just something I noticed, that the shock is more powerful than, and that's unusual because typically your after effect is not going to be more powerful than your primary, right? But in this case, the Raging's shock after effect is far more powerful. I mean, I want to say by like 5 times more powerful than the actual shot of the Raging itself. So watch this. We'll go ahead and do some shock here so I can just show you how powerful the shock is. And boom, boom, boom. It just killed 3 gladiators. We got that spider over there. He's actually hard to kill. One shock kills him. So that's just an example of how powerful that shock effect is, that after effect. And I love Raging for that. I mean, he is so unique. And when his shock bounces off of another unit, as long as they're close to each other, it can ricochet off of a lot of different units, if you're wondering how that works. If a unit gets shocked and there's another unit nearby, that shock will ricochet off and hit multiple units. I don't even know if there's a limit to how many units it can hit, but they have to be within range, and they have to be like, they'll get hit once. If it doesn't kill them, too bad, you'll have to wait for the next shock to come around. But most cases, it kills them. So there it is. That's my update for the Elite Sepulcher base. It sucks that Kixeye would do that to so many people, because I know a lot of people that have the Zeus but do not have Dr. Ake, and do not have Raging, and do not have the Rhino X, as a matter of fact. There's a lot of people that missed some of the parts for the Rhino X, and even though they've got the augment cores now, they can't build the Rhino X and upgrade it, and because they don't have the parts, and I don't even know where to get the parts. I know that they started to sell for example, I think it's in this store right here. They have the augment cores, but I don't think they have. Or they might have the Rhino X parts. If you haven't got all your parts yet, look in there, because I think that the Rhino X is just going to be one of those units that will hang around for a while, and I think the same thing with the Raging. The Raging, it's going to be hard to nerf that ability.